That might be helpful. Let me know if we are in the building. Y'all, I didn't even have my microphone on. I didn't even realize I didn't have it on. My bad. Let me know if it comes on. It was just an introduction to TikTok, so it's all good. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I hope that worked. Okay, child, my microphone wasn't on. I was just telling TikTok them how I was mad all yesterday. And look, it good. It ain't even recorded. You see, see how the Lord do. He didn't even want me much to record that part of how I had to get mad and say them cuss words in my spirituals. I ain't mad, Lord. We ain't mad. Let me reintroduction myself. Let me not reintroduction. Welcome to the message. Welcome to the message, y'all. I am your host, Touche Germaine. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling good. Child, that was just the preview. It wasn't even on recording, child. The Lord, Daddy, you say you wasn't even gonna let me record it, child. He didn't even have the microphone on. Anyway, we in this thing. Okay, I'm back. Welcome to the message, y'all. Come in, like the live, share the live, share the love, child. That was pre-show. You only got that if you was on TikTok. You only got the pre-show if you was on TikTok. Um, Y'all come in, like the live, share the love. Drop something in the chat that you're grateful for. Let's get in the flow of abundance. Sometimes, see, you just got to laugh at yourself. Okay, you just got to you got to laugh at yourself. Today is a great day, and great and amazing things are going to happen for us today, y'all. We are in the book of Jeremiah. Of course, I have notes, so we'll do Bible clarity after we do this part. After we read the word, y'all know we finna read the word, discuss the word, and build relationship with the Lord. So don't come over here with no religiosity in your spirituals, because we're not on that, right? Thank you so much, dearest one. Thank you so much. Good morning, Mocha Creation. Them. Good morning, Honey Bunny. Where y'all at? What y'all doing? How y'all feeling this morning? I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're feeling inspired and motivated. Once again, thank y'all for tapping in with me for the message. Jesus is King, Lord of Lord and King of Kings, Lord of Lords and King of Kings. Yes, he is indeed, and amen. We receive that. How y'all feeling this morning? Did y'all rest well? Like I had just got done telling TikTok I had a moment where I saw a version of myself that I'm not myself right now. I'm not myself right now. Anyway, I'm back. I saw a version of myself last night that I ain't seen in a minute because I don't get triggered too easily. And let me just tell somebody, because I told y'all this all the time, baby. If you wants to see Touche get out of character, the little children, that's the way. Because I get real ignorant. Spell it Ignant, ignorant about the little children. It ain't very many things I play about, but them three right there, they's a definite no play. Okay, them's a definite no play. So I saw a part of myself yesterday that I don't see as much. But thank the Lord for forgiveness, right? Because he helped me get my life and my spirituals in order. Um, we finna get into, look, Jared says, good morning, Jared. Good morning. Jared said, child, I had to laugh at myself this morning because I was up at 7 wondering why you wasn't on yet. It took me till 7:30 to realize that you, child, this little honey one is in the central time zone. Where y'all at? Where y'all tapping in from this morning? Let me know in the comments. Y'all know it's bright and early at 7 a.m. on the West Coast, West Side, right? On the West Side, the West Coast. Child, this honey one is in the central time zone. So shout out Alabama, Roll Tide, shout out Louisiana, all the people in them over there. Come on, Southern. Y'all know we love the South. I don't want to be there. I'm from there. So we love the South. One of these days I'm gonna make my way back over there, but not today. Cause y'all, can I told y'all what happened? Oh my gosh, I have got to told y'all what happened to me yesterday. So check this out. I'm in class, right? And y'all, for those of you who don't know, I'm in California, right? In California. We sitting in class yesterday morning, y'all, and class had just started. The teacher had just started instructioning and stuff. Y'all, all of a sudden, look at the ancestors name. Hey, y'all, all of a sudden, y'all, the building started shaking. The stuff in the projector y'all, we had an earthquake yesterday. And I will say that this is probably the second earthquake that I've actually felt in like a year. I think it was a 5.1, 5.2, somewhere around there. Child, everything went to rattling, shaking, rattling, rolling, rocking. yesterday. If you have never been in an earthquake, it is an interesting experience, right? So we had an earthquake yesterday, and so we had to go read the little earthquake protocols, and we didn't follow it. But just saying, um, you supposed to get up under the desk, child. We done went outside. But yeah, y'all, it was like a significant enough earthquake. He said, "Shake, rattle, and roll." He's shaking some things up. You better say. I almost said a cuss word, didn't it? He said it's time to shake some things up, and that's what I said to the Lord. I said, "Wait a minute, Lord. Hold on now. Hold on, Daddy. Not." I say, I know you had said you were shaking some things up, but he had meant that in him spiritual. So anyway, we had an earthquake yesterday, y'all, and it tripped me out. The last one I felt, I was in LA, right by LAX, and all of a sudden the car went to shaking, rocking back and forth. I was like, what on earth are you doing? Anyway, the Lord can do what he want to do, but he had shook some stuff up yesterday, and he had meant that. So it might be a shaking. We might have a message coming up about that. The Lord is shaking some things up, Lord. That might be what we talk about after Wilderness University. So all that do it, let's get to it, y'all. Let's get into Jeremiah 46. Because I have the notes, and then of course we'll get a message in the cards and see what else the Lord want to talk about. I'm gonna tell y'all again, shout out to Aldi, because what the new hotness. I'm gonna tell y'all every time. Every time I'm drinking one, I'm gonna tell y'all to get one. Okay, so all to do it. Thank you so much for the follow, dearest one. I appreciate you, love. Um, Jeremiah 46. Let's do the Bible Clarity Cap, which is our Bible Clarity recap from yesterday. So remember, we talked a lot yesterday about being in transition. Baruch, who is Jeremiah's assistant, feeling a little overwhelmed, right? Because they going through some things. They got a lot of trials and tribulations that they're going through, a lot of persecution, a lot of troubles that they're going through. So the Lord came through and gave him just a slight rebuke, but also encouraged him and let him know, like, listen, you're gonna get out of this. It may not look the way you want it to look, or it may not be going the way you thought it was going to go, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to get through it. And so that was the Bible Clarity recap. You can go watch that on the YT side of the street for y'all. Let's get into, because we've been talk about Egypt. Now, y'all know Egypt is very significant in the Bible, because we know many of us are coming out of our own personal Egypt. Only you know what your Egypt is. And for many of you, I know on this side of the street, y'all know we not going back. Drop that in the chat. Like, we ain't going back. We're not going back to Egypt. I don't know what your Egypt is, but we're not going back to Egypt. Okay. Defeat of Pharaoh foretold. And I am in the Amplified Bible this morning, y'all. Defeat of Pharaoh foretold. The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet concerning the Gentile nations. So just FYI, the Lord had just got done dealing with Jerusalem and Judah, but that don't mean that he forgot about everybody else. So now he's in the process of going back and dealing with the folks who thought he had forgot about him. He ain't forget, okay? Concerning Egypt, against the army of Pharaoh Necho, king of Egypt, which was by the river Euphrates at Carchemish, which Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, defeated decisively in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, son of Josiah, king of Judah. Line up the buckler, which is a small shield, and large shield, and advance for battle. Harness the horses and mount, you riders. Take your stand with your helmets. Polish the spears. Put on the coats of mail. Why have I seen it? They are terrified and have turned back, and their warriors are beaten down. They take flight in haste without looking back. Terror is on every side, says the Lord. Do not let the swift man run, nor the mighty man escape. In the north by the river Euphrates, they have stumbled and fallen. Who is this that rises up like the Nile River, like the rivers in the delta of Egypt, whose waters surge about? Egypt rises like the Nile, even like the rivers whose waters surge about. And he has said, I will rise, I will cover that land, I will certainly destroy the city and its inhabitants. Charge, you horses, and drive like madmen, you chariots. Let the warriors go forward. It's kind of long, but we're going to get through it. Ethiopia and Put, who handle the shield, and the Lydians who handle and bend the bow. For the day belongs to the Lord God of hosts, a day of vengeance, that he may avenge himself on his adversaries. And the sword will devour and be satiated, and drink its fill of their blood. For the Lord God of hosts has a sacrifice like that of a great sin offering in the north country by the river Euphrates. Go up to Gilead and obtain healing balm, O virgin daughter of Egypt. In vain you use many medicines, for you there is no healing or remedy. The nations have heard of your disgrace and shame, and your cry of distress has filled the earth. For warrior has stumbled against warrior, and both of them have fallen together. The word that the Lord spoke to Jeremiah the prophet concerning the coming of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, to strike the land of Egypt. Declare in Egypt and proclaim in Migdol and proclaim in Memphis and Antiphanes. Say, take your stand and get yourself ready, for the sword has devoured those around you. Why have you strong ones been cut down? They do not stand because the Lord drove them away. He will make many stumble and fall. Yes, they have fallen one on another. Then they said, arise and let us go back to our own people and to the land of our birth, away from the sword of the oppressor. They cried there, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, is destroyed and is merely a loud noise. He has let the appointed time of opportunity pass by. As I live, says the king, whose name is the Lord of hosts, surely like Tabor among the mountains, or like Carmel by the sea, so shall he, the great king of Babylon, come. O you daughter who dwells in Egypt, and you who dwell with her, prepare yourselves with all you will need to go into exile. For Memphis will become desolate, it will even be burned down and without inhabitant. Egypt is a very proud heifer, but a horsefly is coming against her out of the north. Also, her mercenaries and her army are like fattened calves, for they too have turned back and have fled together. They did not stand their ground because of the day of their disaster has come upon them. The time of their punishment, the sound of Egypt fleeing from the enemy, is like the rustling of an escaping serpent. For her foes advance with a mighty army, and come against her like woodcutters with axes. They have cut down her forest, says the Lord. Certainly it will no longer be found, because they, the invaders, are more numerous than locusts and cannot be counted. The daughter of Egypt has been shamed, given over to the power of the people of the north, the Chaldeans of Babylonia. The Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, says, behold, I am going to punish Ammon, chief god of the sacred city of Thebes, the capital of Upper Egypt, and Pharaoh and Egypt, along with her gods and her kings, even Pharaoh and those who put trust in him as a shield against Babylon. I will put them into the hand of those who seek their lives, and into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hand of his servants. Afterward, Egypt will be inhabited as in the days of old, says the Lord. But as for you, do not fear, O my servant Jacob, nor be dismayed, O Israel. For behold, I will save you from your captivity, a distant land, and your descendants from the land of their exile. And Jacob will return and be quiet and secure, and no one will make him afraid. Do not fear, O Jacob, my servant, says the Lord, for I am with you. Drop it in the chat. He with me. For I will make a full and complete end of all the nations to which I have driven you. Yet I will not make a full end of you, but I will discipline and correct you appropriately, and by no means will I declare you're guiltless or leave you unpunished. The end. Okay, the end. So let me just tell y'all the next, I want to say, the next 46, 47, I think all the way to like 51, y'all, is literally talking about what the Lord finna do. He finna get his get back on these places. So just know that it can be, I find some of the parts of the Bible, y'all, of course, can be kind of a hard read, but it doesn't, these are a lot of times the things we want to skip over, right? We don't want to hear about it, but even in the midst of the chaos that the Lord is talking about in these chapters, there's always hope. Drop it in the chat. Like, there's always hope. The Lord always gives us hope or renewal. Even to Egypt, if you paid attention to that, even to Egypt, he is giving hope and letting them know like they're not going to be completely decimated. But Or let's do it. Let's get into the Bible clarity. So, of course, I'm going to go through the notes. I have two sets of notes because I studied this many days ago, but then I had to go back and just make sure and update and study this morning. So, or let's do it. Let's get to it. Here we go. So, this is the judgment against Egypt. The number 1213 may be importante for some of y'all. I started to pull out the angel numbers deck. We might still use it today because I kind of felt that in my spiritual. So the number 1213 may be important for some of y'all. Good morning, dearest one. So just pay attention to the numbers that the Lord is giving you. Y'all know for me, 1213 is all about the call of Abram. So we talked a lot about being called into purpose yesterday, and we're talking about that as well next this weekend coming up. But also we've been talking about that on From the Car to the Kingdom. So you can go watch those episodes if you hadn't seen them. God did not neglect judgment against the Gentile nations. So the Egyptians, okay, let me just tell y'all this. The Lord got beef with Egypt anyway. Why? Because remember, we had beef from 900 years ago when the Israelites were oppressed up under them, and he went in and he removed them from Egypt, or the Exodus, right? Which is a big part of what we're talking about in crossover right now. The Egyptians also killed Josiah, who was the last good king. So God had beef with them for that, plus what they had done to them all them many moons ago as well. The day of the Lord doesn't just refer to one day, but to any time or season when God's might is manifest, especially in judgment against his arrogant opposition. So this is many times that we see that the Lord is going to get what he gonna do what he's going to do, right? A day when he may avenge himself on his adversaries, right? So Babylon defeated. um Babylon is going to be defeated. We'll see that. I want to say it's in 51 where we'll see Babylon, even though he's using Babylon right now to do this work as his instrument. We know God, and we talked about this last week, I believe. God can use whoever he wants to use. Everybody can be an agent for the Lord, but he's not going to forget Babylon. He's just using them right now as his instrument to accomplish his will. Egypt was humbled, twice defeated. Egypt was humbled, twice defeated, ashamed, and delivered into the hand of the Babylonians. They were being punished rather than destroyed. And a lot of times, as we see, the Lord doesn't completely decimate, he doesn't completely annihilate, but he will destroy so that he can discipline. So that later she could continue the promise of restoration. And so this is what he did, not only with Egypt, but also with Judah and Jerusalem as well. He protected the remnant that remained in the land. In the midst of wrath, God remembers mercy. Lord, have mercy on me, right? Um, Even when we're going through the most difficult and challenging times, y'all, the Lord will still show you favor in your chaos. He will still show you favor when you're going through destruction and calamity. He will still make sure that you're taken care of. Though Judah destroyed Jerusalem, taken the temple burnt to the ground, and the people carried into captivity, the nation was not destroyed. A seed shall be preserved, out of which the nation shall revive. Drop this in the chat. I'm the remnant. Okay, I'm the remnant, and sometimes all the Lord needs is a seed. All he needs is a little bit. Remember, they're bringing up Noah, right? Where the Lord, Noah at that time was the seed that was used, and him and his family that was used to repopulate the earth. So all he need is a seed. All he need is a little bit. That mustard seed of faith as well. We talk about that. The mustard seed of faith, right? All you need is a little bit, and a little can go a long way. God also promised to end the captivity of his people in Babylon, allowing them to return to their land. So for some of you, this is understanding that you're getting ready to, as you've been being released, going back into your own land, going like you are the one who's going to possibly repopulate something, restore something. We talked about like generational stuff yesterday, I believe. So you may be the one that the Lord is calling to bring something, even if it's honor, y'all. Sometimes we don't think about the fact that it could be something as simple as honor, dignity in certain situations, like breaking certain chains off of your family. So the Lord is going to use you for you. He's going to use you for it. Um, it has taken us to be his and to give us his best. Then though we suffer, chastisement, we shall not be overwhelmed. The hardest part of dealing with the Lord sometimes is the discipline, right? Good morning, y'all. Good morning. The hardest part of like, because we don't want the discipline. We talked about this yesterday, child. We want the sunshine, the roses, the rainbows. We want all of the good stuff. But when the Lord has to discipline you, and for those of you who have not been on this side of the street, it's or been over here, we know that the Lord, look, I got distracted. We know that the chastisement comes because we don't listen. The chastisement comes because we don't do what the Lord tells us to do in the very first place, right? We don't listen, and then we don't understand why we got to go through difficulty circumstances and situations that are not for our highest good, right? And so this is about us understanding. Hold on, y'all. This is about us understanding that, and it's crazy because we a lot of times we don't think about that. We think, and we talked about this in a previous chapter. We don't think that the consequence that our actions have consequences. Like, we have to be willing to say, I put myself here. I got myself in this position. And so when the Lord chastises us, or we have to go through something, it's an understanding that a lot of times it's as a result of disobedience. Some the Lord and told us, our spirit names, our angels and told us not to do it, and we do it anyway. And then we have to walk out the consequences. We have to go through. We have to go through. And I would much rather accept the lesser of the consequences than the most the when it gets serious, right? When it gets serious, because it will get serious if you continue to not listen to what the Lord is trying to warn you against. Though we are pruned, we shall not be cut down to the ground. He corrects us and he doesn't leave us wholly unpunished. Um, Next, confusing your enemies. For some of you, the Lord is confusing your enemies, right? Um, Egypt was famous for horses and chariots. There's no wisdom or counsel against God. So for many of you, and this was almost something completely different, but it was in part of studying this. They became confused because they didn't realize, they were like, what's happening? They thought that they were in a place of elevation. They thought they were protected. They had been setting traps. They had been, hey, good morning, Sandy. Good morning. They had been doing all this foolishness, child, and thought that they were safe. They were sitting, God was sitting in heaven laughing at them, child, like, oh, you thought you were safe? Ain't nobody safe. You can't outrun the Lord. And this is when he was talking about, like, they were proud of their chariots, their horses, their speed, their military might. And in the end, it didn't mean anything when it came up to against God. He pointed out that this is why we say the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, which I want to say is in Ecclesiastes, maybe 9 and 11. And I've been seeing that number a lot as well, 911. So some of you might have an emergency rescue that's coming in as well. But there may just be like something the Lord is trying to, an alarm that may be going off before. It's that warning before destruction. You can go watch that video as well if you hadn't seen it. But this is why you have to be patient in what the Lord is sending you through. Because just because you strong doesn't always mean that you're going to win. Um, it doesn't always give you the advantage. Let's see what else. Okay, here we go. To provide, we provide for the entertainment. Oh, the Lord is telling someone to get prepared. We provide for the entertainment of our friends. Let us not neglect to provide for the entertainment of our enemies. Let me just, okay, preparation. All let's do it. Here we go. So listen, y'all. For many of you, there may be something that is getting ready to come up against you. And remember, I started this message y'all talking about how I got triggered about something that I really shouldn't even have given that power. Like, drop this in the chat. Like, I'm taking my power back. I ended up getting triggered about something that I shouldn't even have let trigger me. I ended up feeling some type of way, allowing somebody to pull me out of character who shouldn't even have that type of power over you. So for many of you, as I was reading this, the Lord said, don't give the enemy your power. Don't let him steal your joy. A lot of times our first reaction is we want to get mad, and all of a sudden you find yourself being a version of yourself that the Lord then delivered you from. And that's what he did. He showed me, yes, last night and this morning, because I had to pray about it, because I hadn't gave somebody the business in the spiritual stuff. They every cuss, well, almost every, because I kept a couple of them back. I ain't give them all the cuss words, but I was going to. So it's about understanding that you have to be prepared for the enemy to come up against you and test your gangster, y'all. Like as we're talking and we're in this season of crossing over and transition, the enemy is going to try to come up against you and trigger you back into who you used to be. And drop it in the chat. I'm not who I used to be. Now, don't get it twisted. Message. Don't get it twisted, because you can still get the business if you want it, right? And that's what I told the Lord. And as he and I were discussing this, one thing for certain, two things for sure. I'm not who I used to be, but let me tell you something. You don't want the old me either. Can anybody relate to that? Like, you ever just been in situations where, like, I ain't who I used to be, but don't act like she ain't still in there. I've told y'all this multiple times. There's a difference between Latoya and Touche. Let Touche stay where she at, and let Latoya stay where she at. And one of the things that the Lord told me last night and this morning is, no, you're not who you used to be, but sometimes people will try to test your gangster, and the Lord don't hold it against us, because I was able to admit to myself and admit to the Lord that I'm grateful. I ain't never pretended like I ain't got cuss words in my spirituals, because I told the Lord that I was like, Lord, I ain't never tried to pretend that I'm this holier than thou person. I ain't never tried to pretend and be on none of that. So that also speaks to your authenticity, right? Don't feel no type of way. Now, you don't want that side to be seen, but sometimes you got to pop out and show somebody, right? You got and you sometimes you'll shock yourself, because you be like, you ever had one of them moments you be like, okay, I still got it. Like, oh, okay, because what? But I told the Lord that I'm grateful, because I ain't never tried to pretend. Like, I'm very grateful that that's not my normal. But so the Lord was just like, it's okay, because every now and again you get that, and you got to get, and you have to, sometimes you got to experience your rah side. But I'm not who I used to be. But don't get it twisted. So for some of you, there may be situations that arise where you learn how to handle, and again, I'm doing all of this, and I wasn't in front of anyone necessary. Like, I wasn't really, this wasn't like out in public. You're not gonna get me to get out of character, or you know what I'm saying, when I'm like in public or something like that. But when I'm just sitting and I'm just having a conversation or talking to people who know me, even, it's so crazy, y'all. There have been situations now where, because it's so uncommon for me to really like go off or be cussing and doing all of that. Like, it's funny, even my children be like, Mama, did you did you say a cuss word? And I'll be like, my bad, my bad. I ain't even need to make it slip. Because, and that's one of the things as well. Like, for many, come on, Spirit, many of you, you're such a different person now, that the people who you like, even your own family, the people who are closest to you, this is what the Lord does. He makes you a completely different, like, he makes you so different, y'all, that the people can't help but to see the difference in you. And it's something when your own children are like, my mama ain't even on that. Like, my mama ain't, that ain't even the kind of spiritual she got. That ain't even how my mama talk. Now that's how my children know that I feel some type of way, because they know that I don't be cussing. I'm just like, I be chilling, right? So for some of you, the Lord has changed you so much, or is in the process of changing you so much, that you're unrecognizable to other people. Like, the person you are now, it may be people in the past who may think that they still know you, but you're so unrecognizable once you really start to get in alignment with the Lord and start really doing, just becoming a different person, becoming more like him. The old people are not going to recognize you, and the new people are not going to recognize the old version of you when they see it. Does that make sense? Good morning, dearest one. Um, 40 years is significant as well. So be prepared, y'all. Just know that the enemy know he still got that part of you, because we're sinful, right? Let's keep it a buckles. We got that within us, but it's about not allowing that side to rule you, right? Um, the Lord empties and increases. So for many of you, we've been talking a lot about how the Lord may take you down to the bottom, but he's getting ready to increase you as well. I think we had the increase card yesterday, and then it showed up. Side note, the Lord ended up, some of y'all saw this. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. So some of y'all saw yesterday, on the live, the Lord ended up, or this was a couple days ago, I think it was, the Lord ended up, the number 2026 ended up taking me to Second Peter. I got to still study it out as well. But a lot of what we talked about yesterday came up in the Bible study that I ended up doing last night. So if you hadn't seen that message, make sure you go and watch it. Second Peter, I thought I was going to have to read Second Peter 3, but it's actually Second Peter 1 that I ended up having to read. Drop this in the chat. I'll be back. I'll be back. As I was reading this, the Lord was talking about how many of you, maybe you're in a season where the Lord has stripped you, the Lord has removed, He has decreased you. Just know this, you coming back. Like, this is your bounce back season. This is your comeback season. But you're going to have to go through the processing that's necessary, right? In order for you to receive this comeback season. You're not always going to be at the bottom. So and for those of you, because some of you, this is in even speaking about Egypt, right? You're not always going to be in exile. You're not always going to be in ruins. You're not always going to be at the bottom. So know this, okay? You'll be back. And when you come back, you're coming back better than ever. When you come back, which part? About the hidden part? Right now, for some of you, the Lord is going to keep you hidden. Because baby, when He brings you out and when He puts His light in you and through you, and He puts it on full display, you're going to have to be ready for what's coming as a result of that. I mentioned it yesterday. Many of you not even understanding or realizing just exactly what the Lord has coming for you, child. Like, not even understanding the destiny that you have, that you're meant to fulfill. And so for many of you, if you're in your wilderness season, or if you're not, He's putting you in your obscurity season, because He's getting ready to do some work on you. Because when He brings you out, you're going to be shining. You're going to be a completely different force to be reckoned with than you, even if you were before, you're going to be a completely different force to be reckoned with. So don't feel bad if the Lord has not put you on display yet. It just simply means that it's not time yet. But when He ready, He will. So just know, I'll be back. Okay. God's people shall be redeemed, though held fast in captivity, you shall return. God is a very present help. Drop this in the chat. I got help. God is a very present help, and no matter what you're going through, He is with you. And a lot of times we think that when we're going through our troubles and our struggles, that the Lord is not with us, but that's when He's really with us. I I am a believer that message. I am a believer that it's in your troubles and struggles that you see the Lord the most. Because if you think about it, y'all, when you going through some things, that's when you call on the Lord the most. So oftentimes we have this mindset like, man, I'm going through it and the Lord ain't with me. But He's like, no, that's when I'm really with you, because that's when you're calling on Him the most. You need Him the most. You depending on Him the most, right? And so in my own wilderness season, He had to show me that, where He's always with us, but He was so much closer in the struggle, in the wilderness, in the trials. Whereas when you're not going through as much, He doesn't have to demonstrate to you as much that He's with you. Does that make sense? And message. And so for some of you, it's like understanding that the Lord is not going to leave you in the fire. It's like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? When they went in the fire, it was like He was right there. He was visible to them. They were able to see Him. They had the faith, which is why He showed up in the fire with them. So I don't know who need that part of the message, but a lot of times it's like a reversal of thinking. Thank you, Spirit. Like a reversal of thinking. God is closer to you in the storms, because once you understand that He's with you in the storms, when you're not going through a storm, He already knows then that you already know that He's not far away. Does that make sense? I hope I said that right, Lord. Like, so whoever needs that, whatever storm or trial that you're going through, God is closer now than He'll even be when you're not. Because once you get through the storm, He's built that level of confidence and trust to where you know that he's there. Even if you going through something, like, man, I know I'm going through it, but I know God got me. I know he got my back. I know he with me. I know he's supporting. I know he's showing up for me. And so some of you, that's one of the things that the Lord is working on right now for you, is knowing, like, he's more with you now than he will when you get through the storm. But he's still always there either way. A full end shall be made of the nations that oppressed Israel. Your haters finna get some work. We talk about that in a second. We are corrected but not cast out of, and made full. I don't know what I wrote right there. God's spiritual Israel will continue to the end of time. Um, I think that's it. That's all I got, y'all. Okay. Next, this is not necessarily dealing with that, but we finna get into the cards and see what else the Lord wants. We'll get into the message. When people show us who they are, riddle me this. Why don't we believe people when they show us who they are? Why don't we believe people? Y'all ever, like, you could know somebody, right? And this was just a side note that was coming through as I was journaling this morning. Why don't we believe people when they show us who they are? Why do we allow people to it's like, you meet somebody, right? And you may meet their representative. You may not know immediately who they are, but then when they show you who they are, why don't we believe them? What is it about us that makes us keep wanting to not see the truth about a person? And I asked the Lord that. I was just like, man, when a person shows us the worst side of themselves, and why do we still make excuses for them? It could be for us as well. Why do we still make excuses for the way we mess ourselves up, keep ourselves in situations, keep ourselves in struggles? This is part of the accountability that the Lord will make us realize about ourselves. Sometimes it's us, and we don't want to hear that. It's easy for us to always point the finger at other people, and blame other people, but sometimes it's us, y'all. Sometimes we the problem. Sometimes we're the reason. I saw something and it was kind of harsh, but I understood it completely. And I ain't gonna lie about you, right? Because I wouldn't have I don't think he gonna be able to talk to me like that. Because what you're not gonna do, you're not gonna talk to me like that. But it was like, I don't even know what it was, honestly. I just so happened to stop on it. And this fella, I think a woman had asked this question, and she was like, why do people come, like, so I don't even know what her question was. Something about, like, why does this man keep coming in and out of her life? And the dude that was answering, and again, y'all, I don't know who these people were. He was like, because I can. He was like, because I can. And he was kind of like, he was speaking truth, although I don't quite agree with the way that he presented it. Like, he gave her a good answer, but I think it could have been presented a little different. Because he was basically kind of yelling and telling her, kind of low rating her a little bit, in my opinion, and was like, because I can. That's why I keep coming back. That's why I keep treating you like that. Because he was like, because you don't have any boundaries. You don't respect yourself, so why should I respect you? So he was kind of giving it from a place of telling her what the reason was, but also making her kind of feel bad about it. And so I understood it, and she didn't seem to be offended, but I just think, there's a better way to present things. But um that coming up with, why do we allow ourselves to keep going through the same things? Look at 111 at the bottom of the deck. Why do we keep allowing ourselves to receive the same kind of treatments over and over and over? Jared says, I know for me, it's giving them the benefit of the doubt. And then Sandy says, I would feel it and still give the benefit of the doubt, but no more. Drop it in the chat. And no more. No more. We're not going to do that, y'all. We're not going to do that with ourselves, and we're not going to do that with other people. And it's one of the hardest lessons to learn. But think about how many times you done got burned. Bars? Think about how many times you done got burned by people because you keep giving them chance after chance after chance. So at what point does it become, it's because of us and not because of them? Right? if you gonna keep giving somebody the opportunity to hurt you or to treat you some type of way, then at some point it becomes you and not them. And so that was one of the things I was just talking to the Lord about. You ain't gonna just keep treating me no any type of way. You just not gonna keep doing it. I'm not going to allow you to keep doing that. And as I was thinking on this and talking to the Lord about this, I told the Lord, I was just like, man, I thought about how many times I just kept myself in situations that were no longer serving me. I want somebody to drop this in the chat. Like, I'm releasing it. I'm releasing these things that are no longer serving me. I'm releasing these things that are no longer a part of this season message. Because at what point do we start making room for new stuff, y'all? Many of us are praying for things and we want to see changes in our life, but we want to still hold on to old traumas and pains and things that are just continue to weigh us down. I refuse. I refuse to say that, Christina. Like, I refuse. I am letting go of these things. I'm not gonna hold space for it anymore. And this is something that in my wilderness over the last 2 years, y'all, like one of the most healing things that the Lord has done for me is just helping me to release things. And I got detachment in my spirituals. Okay. It ain't nothing to cut, ain't nothing to cut it out. But I'm also just like, if I'm also on this type of time, y'all, well, look, you got to be adding something to my life. Are you adding? And maybe for some of y'all, this is part of what the Lord is saying as well. It's like, how do you know when to walk away from something versus just to give someone some space? Are you adding value to my life? Like, are you adding to me or are you just taking away? And that has been something for me that, because you know how you get triggered or your spirituals will tell you something and you trying to figure out, like, what type of time is this person on? First of all, I'm gonna go to the Lord and be like, Daddy, what they here for? Who sent you? Second of all, are you adding to my life or are you taking away? Are you bringing me more chaos and disappointment and pain? Are you bringing me mess? Like, what you bringing into my life? Because if you ain't bringing nothing good into my life, you ain't got room in my life. And that I'm because I just don't have time for it anymore. We spend too much time in those kinds of, come on, 318. We spend too much time in those types of cycles, y'all, where we give unnecessary people, places, and things too much of our energy. So for whoever needs that part of the message, when they show you who they are, believe them. And it's up to you. You don't have to give people part of you, like, it's like you learning that you don't everybody doesn't deserve to be in your life, and you don't have to make room or give more than what you want to give. It's reciprocated, right? If it's not reciprocal, then what you doing here? Like, why am I going to continue to give to you when you ain't giving to me? Because who has time for that? Okay. Verona, I was fired from my job. Can absolutely sending you, listen, let me, y'all know me, and I had to ask the Lord about this. Sending you so much love, light, and healing energy, dearest one, and just know that something better is coming. Y'all know me. I believe when the Lord removes something from your life, even if it hurts, even if it's painful, He's preparing you for something even better. You come on, Lord, on the cut. Oh, let's do it. First Chronicles 4:10. Oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from harm so that I will be free from pain. If the Lord start releasing stuff out of your life, y'all, it's so that he can make room for something better. And we receive it. Okay. Tough pill to swallow, but I gotta do it. Sometimes that's the hardest thing because because your feelings be involved. So don't think that, you know what I'm saying, it's always just easy to walk away from stuff. Like, y'all, sometimes it hurt to walk away from people, especially if you thought they was like ride or die, they going with you, um they've been with you for a while. Like, it's hard to walk away from people, but let me tell you something. We finna make room for this growth and expansion. We finna make room for this enlargement of our territory. Come on, First Chronicles 4:10. Wish granted, expansion, prophetic, and possibilities. We making room for new opportunities. And if the Lord start removing stuff, and a lot of times, y'all, when the Lord starts removing stuff, He's getting, again, he will decrease so that he can increase. But you got to be willing to let it go. You got to be willing to walk away from it and say, you know what? If he fires you from a job, like Verona just said, again, many prayers to you, but this may be an opportunity for growth. This may be an opportunity for you to say, sometimes with that thing that we think is the security, come on, spirit, that thing we think is the security is not the security we need. We want this, we need the security that comes from the Lord. The Lord, sometimes he'll cut something from you so he can show you just how powerful you are, just how much more you're capable of. We don't always look at the fact that the Lord will remove something to make room for something better, but we're receiving something better in this season. So you're going to find the right job for you. We're sending up many prayers. It does not mean that it's easy when the Lord removes something from you, whether it was whether it was because of something you did or because of something that they just needed to do. But just know, if you start looking at your losses as gains, and this is looking into the future of it, this is right now, as soon as it happened, you're going to be like, man, I can't believe this just happened. But I promise you this will be an opportunity for you to find something better, because our losses are what we make of them. Does that make sense? When you lose out on something, you can either sit there and wallow in the fact and get in your victim mindset or victim mentality, like, man, you're going to have to take a minute to process it. So don't get it twisted and just think that you're not going to feel the feels, because you're going to have that moment where you're like, man, now what do I do? But I promise you this, if you go to the Lord and say, okay, Lord, you remove this from me, but I can't let it stop me. Drop it in a chat. I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm going to use, if the Lord takes something away from you, message, if the Lord takes something away from you, it's an opportunity for you to grow. It's an opportunity for you to see more for yourself. So use it as that. Okay. It has to go so I can grow. So many of you, the Lord is opening up new possibilities. He's expanding your awareness. Some of you, the Lord and told you to start a business, and maybe he even told you to prepare, or he's telling, thank you, Spirit. He's telling you now, you may not lose your job today, but he's preparing you for the season of growth by telling you, go ahead and start stacking your chips. Go ahead and start preparing your business. Go ahead and start putting your ideas on paper, so that when he decides, because again, he knows what we don't know, y'all. He knows the end from the beginning. So for many of you, the Lord is giving you a message. He's giving you clarity on an idea or something that a vision he's telling you to give birth to, because he's preparing you for the 100 steps ahead that we can't yet see. If he tells you to do something, go ahead and start implementing the plan. Go ahead, even if it seems like it's nothing but just a single step. Go ahead and start implementing it, because when you do, you're gonna understand why this particular thing was necessary at this time. We won't see it until the story unfolds. You're not gonna have the complete understanding, because he gives us one step at a time, right? But if the Lord starts preparing you to start releasing and start planting new seeds, you're gonna have to get to planting, okay? Period. Been experiencing heartbreak every day. I'm giving it to Jesus. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. I have learned, and this is like that peace that transcends understanding, right? One of the things that I have learned, y'all, is when you just give it to the Lord, and it is something that helps me, because I can honestly say, no matter what happens in this season, I just be like, okay, Lord, help. Is it something that I can do, Lord? If it's something I can do, show me what I can do. And he does. He'll show you what you can do. He'll show you what steps you can take. He'll show you what you can do. And the rest of it, you got to leave it up to the Lord. And it's hard for people to truly think or even wrap their minds around the fact that the Lord will really handle it, but he will handle it. Like, if you just lay it at his feet, lay your burdens at his feet, I'm telling you, you will have so much peace, because you'll just be like, well, this is not something that I can fix. What can you do if you've lost your job and you're not in a season where he's told you're building a business, or you have something else to fall back on? This may be your season where you go and start applying, instead of, like, okay, well, let me go look for something. But we gonna decree and declare that if he tells us to look for something, we gonna upgrade. We're gonna, because it was time to let something go. Okay. And I just be like, okay, Lord, fix it. Lord, help. Lord, what can I do? What would you have me to do? And it works, y'all. It works. What else? All to do it. Here we go. 1356, I will never fail you. I will never abandon you. So we can say with confidence, the Lord is my helper. Drop it in the chat. The Lord is my helper. So I will have no fear. What can mere people do to me? If the Lord is for you, who it can be against you? This is Hebrews 13:5 and 6. A well, a or cistern, a ditch, a pitfall, and fallen. Let me just told y'all right now. And it's crazy because this is something that I pray that when I'm praying, I pray this. Y'all, didn't I say something? I mentioned it and I was like, we'll come back to it. And I said, some of y'all enemies, they finna get that work. And let me just say this. We don't wish ill will on our enemies, okay? We don't wish it. But that don't mean, just like we saw for Egypt and the other surrounding Gentile cities we finna see, don't think that God forgot. He ain't forget. He's coming back. He is going to circle back. And some of you, them same folks that was laughing and mocking and talking about you, them same folks that was digging ditches, when you dig a ditch, you better dig too. Because one of the things that I have learned to pray is, Lord, the same traps, tricks, schemes, and snares that was set up for me, may my enemies fall into them. Because if you and pray it, why? Because you got to know that that's going to be the end result. So for some of you, there's some kind of traps that the enemy has set for you, and you finna see your enemies, the people who set those traps, fall into them. Why? It's not because of anything that you're doing, it's because of everything that the Lord is doing. This is why you don't have to fight. This is why you have to be careful of you. We don't do that. We're not going to try to set somebody up to fail. Many of you, there are people and places and things that were orchestrated for your failure, but what they meant for evil, God meant for good. So when they set a trap for you, the Lord's going to make you aware of what the trap is. And them same folks who tried to set you up and make you fall in it, they're going to fall into it themselves. Again, we don't wish it on you, but God is going to do what God does, because he's fair, he is just, right? He's not going to just let you escape. He's not just going to let you get away. You can think that he's not going to come back and do what he said he's going to do, but he's not going to miss you. He don't miss. Okay, so for many of you, it doesn't matter who's coming up against you. Thank you, Spirit. One of the things I'm all like, I hear the Lord saying as well. Many of you, this is why we don't even focus on our enemies, because you have more people that are for you than against you. I don't know who needed that. Sometimes you could feel like you're by yourself. You never know. This is why, if you focus, if all you're focused on is who is against you, the Lord is not allowing you to see, or you're not allowing yourself to see the people who are actually on your side. There are more people who are praying for your blessings than your downfall. You may have one enemy, but you may have 10, 15 folks that are praying for you to do better, to succeed, to grow, and to prosper. And so this is why we don't give the enemies and this is something that even I've had to learn as well. You don't give them your energy, because that's giving them your power, and we're not giving the enemy our power. Focus on the people who want to see you succeed in your life. Focus on the people who are trying to motivate you and encourage you and inspire you and help you. Because some of you, this is even speaking to the things that you're watching. If you're going through a low time and something's going wrong in your life, you will find yourself, the enemy will try to suck you into stuff that is negative. You want to try to stay as positive as possible. So watch things that are uplifting, because otherwise the enemy is like melancholy. Like what I just said, misery loves company. So be mindful, because when you going through stuff, the enemy gonna try to keep you in that energy, in that mindset. And the Lord is coming through saying, no, I'm breaking you out of that. Like, we're not gonna stay there, because who has time for that? And I'm guilty of it. This is no judgment. This is me knowing that I've done it before. But when I start seeing the wrong kind of stuff, even on your timelines, y'all, be mindful. And for some of you, maybe this is a way that you'll start to understand, like, okay, I'm not in alignment, because you'll start to see certain stuff show up on your timeline. If I'm on one of my platforms and I'm seeing a lot of mess or a lot of just negativity, I'll be like, let me go watch some inspirational. I go watch somebody with a positive word to read. Like, drop it in the chat. Reset my algorithm, Lord, because what? And so some of you just be mindful of that, because the enemy it's like a distraction, if you will. The enemy trying to draw you into that to make you stay on that type of energy. And we're not falling for the okey doke. Not in this season. The devil is a liar. Okay. Told you, I'm telling you right now. Look, just to clarity that, thank y'all, but I'm gonna pull another one. I'm telling you, he'll try to keep you in the darkness. You have the idols card. This is Hebrews 13:5. Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have, because God said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. And the first thing that stuck out is the darkness, y'all. So for some of y'all, just be mindful of that. It's like it's very easy sometimes to just get pulled into that, but you'll find yourself just kind of going to the left. So just be mindful of it. Okay, be mindful of that. We won't spend a lot of time there. I'm gonna keep it, but we're not gonna spend any more time there. What else, Lord? Because yeah, child, and some of y'all coming out of the darkness, and this is I don't know why this literally just I just got from the pit to the palace on this, and it's kind of backwards. And y'all know I just read what the spirit love, but I literally just got from like the pit to the palace. It's like, even though this card talks about like a ditch, a pitfall, or cistern, what the Lord is showing me on this, y'all, is like the Lord's promise still stands. And we talk about that a lot. Many of you, your season of transition, you're coming out of the darkness and stepping into the light. That's what I saw when I looked at these two cards. So for some of you, this is the transition that's happening. He's pulling you, baby. He's pulling you out of a very dark place, and bringing you back into the light, back into the promise. Because I got that when I look down at that card. Okay, what else? And then we'll get some Bible clarity, because we still using that. Yeah, child. That darkness is something. Not two. Why y'all want two? But we'll all do it. Okay, here we go. We have number 99. The Lord is a refuge for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. This is Psalms 9:9. Refuge, fortified, strengthened, and oppressed. I'm telling you, he's getting from the pit to the palace. He's getting ready to bring you out. Let's see what else. Let's see what this last one is. Message 12:15. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. This is Psalm 121:5. We weren't doing prosperity clarity today, was it? Gain, profit, assembly, or gathering, and increase. When we just talking about the word increase as well? The word, didn't we have the increase card? We did, from in the keys of the kingdom deck, and this is literally talking about increase again. Thank you, Spirit. We receive it. So for many of you, some of you, this is gradual. Okay. This is something gradual. Some of you, okay, let me just go back. Many of you, there's a seed that has been planted and you're getting ready to start seeing growth. You're getting ready to start seeing things. For some of you, this could be something that was on the back burner. The Lord could have given you a very specific instruction. I kind of talked about this the other day on From the Card to the Kingdom, where the Lord may have you to plant a seed. And for some of you, you may have seen no growth. You hadn't seen anything happening with it, but you're getting ready to start seeing growth that's going to happen with a seed that maybe has lain dormant, or that the Lord just had you to plant. Understand this, y'all. We're always planting. Hey, Kenya. Hello, dearest one. We're always planting, right? We're always planting new seeds in new fields in new ways. And some seeds are that you don't eat the seed, you don't eat the fruit the same day you plant the seed. So for some of you, this is an instruction that you need to start planting where the Lord is telling you to plant. Whatever fields it is, he needs you to go and start planting. Why? Because there's something that's going to develop from that. But this may not be the time. The Lord will tell, come on, Spirit, the Lord will tell you to plant a seed, but it's just not the season for it to grow. It's not the season for it to prosper, but you still need to plant it. There may be things and seeds that the Lord tells you to plant that he simply wants you to keep in the back of your mind, that you're remembering, like, okay, I still got this back there, but so that when it is time and he says, okay, it's go time, it's time to go. It's time to get it. It's time to like, oh, okay. And sometimes you don't, because you never know which seed is how it's going to take root, how far down it's going to go. This is coming back. Come on, Spirit, coming back to the enlarging of your territory. Many of you have planted seeds, and now you're getting ready to see different seeds begin to bloom and blossom because of the fact that you planted when the Lord told you to. If you miss an opportunity when the Lord tells you to do something, then you're going to have to start. And now you just prolonged your process. And He's trying to speed things up for many of you, that so where you've seen a lack of growth, you're getting ready to start seeing the growth happen. But this is why the obedience of following the instructions when the Lord tells you to is so important, because you never know when He's going to make something prosper. Let's just use TikTok as an example. And I think this weekend I use like Spirit and Glam. Y'all, as much as I love making makeup and love, making eyeshadows and doing all of that, that's a seed that's planted. I don't know when the Lord's going to tell me to go back and start back doing that again, but it's planted. Just like TikTok, I ain't been on here in a month of Sundays, but it wasn't like I wasn't still watering the seed. Does that make sense? I was still watering the seed, even though I wasn't going live. I was still watering the seed. I was still posting videos over there, putting up content. So for some of you, it can be something as simple as that. And those are just practical examples in your own life. What seeds has the Lord told you to plant? Because He's getting ready to use, for many of you, you're getting ready to start seeing multiple seeds take root, blossom, and produce fruit. Drop it in the chat. I'm fruitful. Okay, I'm fruitful for the kingdom. You're getting ready. Some of you, yes, you're getting ready to start seeing things that weren't turning a profit, turn a profit, make you money, bring you in additional streams of income. These are why the ideas are so important, right? Because our goal is to be fruitful for the kingdom. And that's going to start with your relationship with God, understanding that it's where all the fruit comes from Him, y'all. You cannot produce the fruit on your own. Okay. So we are on a mission, on assignment. We are commissioned to be fruitful for the kingdom. So we finna get to work. Okay. Drop it in the chat. I'm going to work. We finna be fruitful for the kingdom. We finna be fruitful for our Lord. We finna be fruitful. He didn't give you these gifts for nothing. We finna be fruitful for the kingdom of God. Okay. Period. Men did. Y'all sitting over here, y'all too talented not to be fruitful. I don't know what your gifts are, but you know what your gifts are. We finna be fruitful. We finna produce good fruit. You will know them by their fruit. So, but it starts with that relationship with God and understanding that He's the one that's going to make it grow. Okay. Ola do it. Here we go. Many of you, I think I talked about, or maybe I didn't talk about this on this message. This is protection coming in on this. Yeah, I don't know. This is also protecting your ideas. So some of you protect your ideas. Make sure that you are doing the things that you can to protect yourself, and also knowing how much protection you got. Okay. Let's see what else. Or to do it. Here we go. We have the 10 of Wands that is coming in. I don't think we've gotten this. Um, in the Bible Clarity Deck. The Ten of Wands, the Israelites. Now, ain't we been talking about Egypt? We still on it, Lord. The Ten of Wands says the Israelites faced a heavy burden of slavery in Egypt. Didn't we say already we ain't going back? Didn't we already? We start before we even pulled anything else. We was like, we're not going back to Egypt. I don't know what your Egypt is. For some of you, this is the Egypt could be so many different things. For some of you, yes, the Lord is setting you up to where if He's giving you a business idea, you're going to eventually be fruitful in that business. So He may be telling you to plant a seed, start the idea, whatever it is, because He's going to take you out of oppression. Okay. The Israelites faced a heavy burden of slavery in Egypt, where they were forced into arduous labor building cities for Pharaoh. Their population grew significantly, causing fear among the Egyptians and mistreatment. This oppression included harsh taskmasters, restrictions on their lives, and even the killing of newborn male Hebrew babies, leading to cries for deliverance to God, who eventually used Moses to lead them out of Egypt in the Exodus story. Told y'all, many of you, you're getting ready to like the oppression. I told y'all about your enemies. the people who've been trying to hold you down, how the enemy been trying to keep his foot on your neck. The Lord is getting ready to end this season. The Ten of Wands is a card of overwhelm. It's a card of a cycle that needs to end, being tired, being held down, being stressed out, being burdened. So the Lord is saying, and we talked about this earlier, like, lay those burdens down at God's feet. The things that this is one of the ways that you begin to surrender. Like, Lord, I don't have a clue how to do this. I don't know how to get out of it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know, Lord. I don't have an answer. And say, I'm giving this to you, Lord. And you got to really leave it there. Like, it's easy to say that, but one thing and they're bringing up, like, I want to say it's like Matthew 6:31, 32. If the Lord, like, we don't really have to worry about, and I know it's as crazy it can sound, you don't have to worry about how you going to eat, what you going to drink, what you going to eat, what you going to wear. You really don't have to worry about those things because the Lord provides. So for many of you, there are certain concerns and things that you've been burdening yourself with. Weight, come on, spirit, weight that you've been carrying that the Lord is asking you to release and let go and let Him handle it. Let go and let God is a real thing, y'all. But you have to choose to do that. You have to release those burdens because he can carry it. So for some of you, the Lord is asking you to release unnecessary stress. This could be people, things that are weighing you down. This could be worry, concerns, challenges, and trust and believe we all got bills. So don't think it's just like, oh, easy peasy, but I am here to testimony to the Lord. If he knows all of these things that you need, y'all. He knows that you need your bills paid. Now, let's do the accountable part of it. Are you spending unnecessarily on stuff? I know I talked about this the other day, but the Lord repeats things. He repeats his precepts, precept upon precept. Why? Because he needs to make sure that we get it. And because one of the things, come on, spirit, one of the things that I often said was, Lord, you repeat? He repeats to his apostles. If you read the Bible, y'all, the Lord is constantly reiterating things to his disciples. He's constantly telling them the same things over and over. Why? Because it's like hearing. You got to keep hearing it before you're finally like, okay, now I get it. Sometimes it's the first time you've heard something, but other times it's like, listen, you may not understand this, but we over here because we gonna hold each other accountable. If you have it, let's use finances because he's using finances in this moment. If you know that you're spending on things frivolously, then he gonna send you through a season where you ain't gonna have but enough to pay for what you got. But he's gonna make sure that he provides for that. God knows that we have bills, but I'm here again to testimony to the Lord. And there are many of you who can say this as well. When you ask the Lord for the things that you need and you're doing the thing he's asked you to do, he makes sure that everything else is taken care of. People really don't believe that it can be that easy, but the Lord makes it just that easy, y'all, where you don't have to worry about how it's going to get paid. You just have to understand that the Lord is going to make a way. Drop it in the chat. He will make a way. I can only reiterate that and continue to tell y'all that this is truth. It is no lie. That if you believe and trust in God, he will make a way. He will make a way. Okay. So for some of you, even our money, that's not that ain't nothing. He will make a way. Okay. He'll make a way. So I don't know what burden you need to leave at the Lord's feet, but he will make a way. Okay. We have the Queen of Cups. This talks about Mary, nurturing, and devotion. Mary was a virgin who was chosen by God to receive this. This came out for the Aquarius messages the other day. Mary, she was chosen to conceive. She was chosen by God to conceive Jesus. I'm telling y'all right now that there, for some of you, there is something that the Lord is choosing you for, but you also got to choose him. Does that make sense? You got to choose him as well. Mary was engaged to Joseph, a carpenter and descendant of Abraham. Adoption. Y'all said that yesterday. The angel Gabriel appeared to her and told her she would give birth to Jesus. Mary gave birth to Jesus in Bethlehem. She and Joseph raised him in Nazareth, and she was present at his crucifixion in Jerusalem. Her significance in the Bible is highly favored. Drop it in the chat. I'm highly favored. This I don't know, because the only way I can say it is like, do you know how much God loves you? Like, Do y'all know how much God loves you? Like how much he truly loves, how many chances he gives you, how many times that you mess up and he just allows you to come back. Like God loves us for real, y'all. He favors us for real. That's why he favors us over the angels. People don't. If you read the Bible, you'll understand this. He may have made us a little lower than the angels, but he gave us more dominion than he gave the angels. He gave us dominion over the earth. Some of you, this First Chronicles 4:10, he's getting ready to establish what he's giving you dominion over. Does that make sense? This is why he's telling you there's some stuff that you got to let go. We talked about releasing, right? It's some stuff you got to let go of and make room for, because he's trying to give you that thing that you're going to have dominion over, the part of earth that you're going to have dominion for, where he's going to show you his favor. I feel the spirit on that. So I'm telling somebody, the Lord is saying, you got to make room for this. Okay. You got to make room for this. Um, her story can teach us to trust God's word, praise God through suffering, and surrender to God's will. You know, it's crazy that people will give us 50, 11 different ways to try to handle a situation, when the easiest way is just to give it to God and just trust Him. I think I see, you see these like different celebrities, right? You see successful people, and do you realize that all of them are doing what they love to do? And if you listen to them talk, and this is for somebody, as like, because the Lord is trying to step you into, is, I don't know, maybe he's been telling you that you're not meant to have a job. Some of you feel that in your spirit, like you are not meant to have a job. He's trying to step you into what is actually going to make you feel fulfilled and happy, what he's choosing you for. Do you realize that without Mary we wouldn't have Jesus? So without, and even though that's not our portion, that was what her assignment was. Y'all each have something that the Lord is asking you to do, that he's choosing you for, but you got to choose it as well. How do you start seeing the favor of God really show up in your life? It'll start showing up as soon as you surrender and say, okay, Lord, not my will, but yours. As soon as you come into understanding that he has a specific plan for you, for I know the plans I have for you, right? He has a plan for you. And the more you align with that, the more favor you'll start to see in your life. What else? And then we'll clarity this. Ola do it. We have the four swords. Jesus in the tomb. Okay, rest, recovery. Jesus was buried in a tomb, but 3 days later, his tomb was found empty. This event, of course, is known as the resurrection. We know we're coming up on that this Sunday. Joseph of Arimathea, a wealthy disciple of Jesus, asked Pilate for Jesus's body. He wrapped his body in linen and placed it in his own tomb. Joseph was wealthy, so that's where. So we know, of course, that Jesus was buried like a king, even if he was treated like a criminal, right? He may have been treated like a criminal, but he was buried like a king. The tomb was sealed with a large stone, and a guard was posted. On the third day, women visited the tomb and found it empty. Angels told the women that Jesus had risen from the dead. Jesus appeared to many people, including his disciples. The resurrection is considered a miraculous act of God that confirms Jesus's divinity. It fulfills many prophecies from the Old Testament. If you declare with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus died and he was raised again on the third day, you will be saved, right? So, one of the things that I've been reading a lot about message is coming up to resurrection. Like the Lord, he gave me a lot of clarity yesterday, because again, he had me in Second Peter reading, but one of the things he's just had me reading a lot about the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, all of these, it's a lot, y'all. But for many of you, and I mentioned this yesterday, he's been talking about receiving or having an experience with him. Many of you, depending on where you are with your walk, but just as an example of this, he showed me how, and I told y'all about how he breathed on me the other day. So yesterday, that was on the 8th of April, which was, I want to say, the 10th of Nisan, which I'm not terribly familiar with the Hebrew calendar. For many of you, over the next 40 days, you're getting ready to have experiences with the Lord that are going to blow your mind. He's always there, like we just got done talking about his presence and him being around you. But many of you are going to start experiencing him, especially, and this is for those of you who are coming further into your walk. Like the Lord is going to in and out, he's going to pop in and out so that you will know that he's there. There are things, there are miracles, there are signs, there are ways that he's going to communicate with you, that he's going to confirm for you that you're in his presence, that he is there with you, that you're not going to be able to deny. And so for many of you, even just understanding the importance of resurrection, because the Bible, the gospels are truly built upon that. If you don't believe that because of course we know that with his resurrection he overcame death, right? That was the one thing that he had, that no one at this point had been able to do. So he overcame death, thereby securing his victory in the world and over the world. So for some of you, this is the importance of him, you allowing him to lift you up, to raise you up, to bring you out of the pit. Come on, Spirit, to bring you out of this pit, whatever this darkness is that you've been in. This is why he's saying, I need you to come out. I need you to come up. I need you to come higher. I need you to have more understanding. I need you to believe. I need you to trust me. I need you to give this over to me. Stop letting this weigh you down. Stop letting this keep you in a place, in a position that I didn't create you for. He blessed us to be priests among him. He blessed us to have wisdom and knowledge and insight. He blessed us to be like have an inheritance. So for many of you, this is what he's calling you into. It may be why you feel a call, a pull, a tug towards him, because he's trying to call you into who he truly purposed you to be. We said it yesterday, poverty is not our portion, disappointment is not our portion. Any of these trials and tribulations we're going through is temporary. So he's trying to break someone out of the mindset to think that this is all you're going to receive. This is not all that you're going to get, but you have to first receive him and receive what he's trying to give you. Accept him, receive him into your heart so he can begin to show you who you truly are, who you were created to be. Many of you, again, you're getting ready to start experiencing like signs, wonders, miracles. For me, for a lot of you especially, and this is something he showed me in the beginning, when you're a new believer, he does more to bring you into his awareness. He does more of the miraculous things, like are super huge, amazing, miraculous, because he needs you to it's him in a process of trying to cement your belief. So, and I've told this to y'all before. It's even the fact that like he knows, and we all know, like there's certain things that he's going to show you because he's needing you to your belief to be cemented. I hope that made sense. I tried to say it the way he's giving it to me, but he's getting ready to. It's for some of you. There's going to be like a miraculous restoration. There's something that he's bringing you out of. Something that's being completed. Something that's being removed. Some mountain that you have tried to move by yourself. It's just going to miraculously be moved out of your way. You've been trying to figure out how to make something grow. You're going to give it to God, and all of a sudden you're going to see it grow. Something you've been trying to do yourself, you're going to give it to God, and all of a sudden the answer is just going to be there. The way is going to be made. The rivers in the dry wasteland. There, for some of you, there could have been something that was completely barren, that was not working, was not moving forward, but he's getting ready to make it work. And you're going to be like, I tried everything. I did everything. And I don't know, but it's not you, it's God. Drop it in a chat. It's God. You're going to have one of those. There was those is God moments. It wasn't nothing I did because I tried everything. And when you stop trying and start allowing God to do, then you'll find things to start moving a different direction for you. And so that's why he's calling some of you to like stop trying to figure it out yourself. Stop being burdened. Stop trying to be in this energy, because this stresses us out, y'all. It overwhelms us. It makes us anxious. And he's just saying, this is where your trust and your faith is going to have to be built. Many of you, he's stripping down everything because he's going to reestablish your faith. He's going to make sure that you understand that through him, all things are possible. When with man is, what is it? With man is impossible, but not with God. With God, all things are possible. So he's getting ready to show, and it's going to be a demonstration of some of those things for you, where you know that with him, It's everything that he can do and nothing that you can do. Nothing. Because again, this is us, the 10 of Wands, trying over and over and over, and you just can't make no leeway. You can't get nowhere. And for many of you, this is the importance of the wilderness season that we don't want to go through, because he's getting ready to make you submit to dependence on him. And it's hard, y'all. I'm not here to try to tell y'all that the wilderness is a cakewalk, because it's not. But he's going to strip you down and remove the things that you have been secure upon, like they were secure upon Egypt, right? And depend thinking that that was where their security was. We just talked about this in Jeremiah, where that was their security, and the Lord's like, come on, hey ma, I'm your security. I'm the way that you're going to be secure is by trusting in me. Because when you put your trust in men, when you put your trust in material things, you will find those things will they flake on you, y'all. The people that you put your support in, all of a sudden, some of you, the Lord is going to change some people's hearts to where the people you thought you could depend on, you're not going to have be able to depend on them. Why? Because you can depend on God. He's going to make you, he's the people that you thought like always had your back, all of a sudden ain't going to have your back. Why? Because you're going to need to know that God has your back. And it's, I believe, this is me, I believe that the quicker you can learn that lesson, the quicker you can experience your turnarounds in your life. It's the divine timing is still up to the Lord, but the quicker we can learn a lesson, the quicker we can depend on God instead of depending on man, the quicker you can start to see that favor happen in your life, right? So I hope that made sense. One more, and then I'm gonna clarity it, and then I'm gonna be done. Message. This is a new beginning for some of you. We have the Fool, okay, that is coming in. Creation. This is a new beginning. This is a seed planted. This, of course, is speaking to Genesis. Some of you are getting a blank slate. You're getting an opportunity to start over, and your wilderness season will create that for you, y'all. And we often talk, then we've been talking about like everything being removed. He's emptying so that he can recreate. This is in you. This is in your purpose. This is in your life. This is in your finances. This is in your relationships. Many of you, come on, spirit, you gonna find that like relationships, the old people are being removed so the new people can step in. Drop it in the chat. I want elevation. Like I want new people. I don't want to keep dealing with the same folks. We say this all the time. Make me over, Lord. Make me worthy. Make me ready for the things that we want. We pray for people to come. Now be mindful, because remember, y'all, the enemy hears too. He'll send counterfeits before the kingdom. So ask the Lord to start preparing you to receive the right types of relationships. Many of you, you've been in relationships, you've dealt with people who didn't have your best interest at heart. So the Lord, as you continue to spend more time with the Lord, he's going to remove those people out of your life because they're not on the same level as you. For some of you, he's moving you out of environments because you're not growing in those environments, and he needs you to grow and prosper and again be fruitful for the kingdom. So he's going to move you out of places. Some of you, part of your new adventure, your new journey, your new season is going to be a move. The Lord is literally going to pick you up, transplant you, and put you somewhere else, so that you can grow and prosper in the right place, around the right people, with the right connections. There are new people that are coming in that are more in alignment. We talk about like-minded, more in alignment with where the Lord's taking you, with your assignment, with what you need, with what you're trying to do. Because if you stuck around, if you around people who are stagnant and don't want to grow, guess what? That's going to hold you back. That's gonna hold you back, and we're not getting held back anymore. Because I don't know about y'all, but I done been held. I've been held back long enough, and I'm just not gonna be able to do it. So we're gonna grow, and we're gonna accept when new people come. Now, mind you, let me say this as well. Everybody is, even when new people come in, this is where you have to learn to test the spirit. You have to take it to the Lord and allow the Lord to show you what those people are meant to do in your life, because it ain't for everybody. It ain't every person. Just because somebody come in, it's not like, oh, that's my soul tribe. Like, no, we not on that. Okay. This is for some of you. Part of one of your testing that the Lord is doing is he's helping you to discern which people, if he sends somebody in, because some of you, this message, we receive it, Lord, you may be a very friendly person. But you're going to have to learn how to not be so friendly to where, because for some of you, that's how people remember when people show you who they are, believe them. You got to understand that the Lord will send some folks in just to see, have you learned some lessons about being too friendly, about over giving, about overextending? Because I understand you got a big heart, but how many of you have been taken advantage of because you have a big heart? How many of you have given and given and given, and then all of a sudden you done gave everything you got to give, and you don't understand why they keep doing it? Because they know, because the enemy knows that you have a big heart. He knows that you're a giver, but most times givers are the ones who are taken advantage of. So, yeah, the Lord will tell you to stop giving all of yourself too quickly, too soon to people, because you have to learn that everybody don't deserve you. Everybody doesn't deserve access to you. Everybody doesn't deserve your energy. So, in your new season, come on, Spirit, in your new season, you're not going to keep over giving, because the Lord ain't going to allow you to keep getting hurt like that. Does that make sense? For some of y'all, and I'm sorry if this sounds harsh or tough, but do you understand that the Lord is tired of you being hurt? The Lord is tired of you being disappointed. You put all your faith in men, and the Lord is saying, no, you're going to put your faith in me, and I'm going to show you how to rock with these people. I'm going to show you how to deal with people on a new level. I'm going to show you how to stop getting hurt, because He doesn't want you to be hurt, because when you hurt, He hurts too. Does that make sense? So this is why the importance of, for some of you, because, and this is me even can say this from a place of, Lord, I receive it. You want to give, you're so nice and so compassionate, but that gets us in some bad situations, y'all. So you just have to learn how to deal a little differently with people, right? And so for some of you, this is going to be a part of your new beginning. God created the world in 6 days and rested on the seventh day. He began by creating light, separating it from the darkness. I'm telling somebody right now that you're coming out of a dark place. And I don't know what the dark place was for you, but Hunty Wunty, I want you to know, drop this in the chat. I'm in the light now. Like, I'm in the light now. And even if you can't see but a piece of it, even if this ain't, and y'all know we big on community. This is a community filled with light. Now we got to talk about the dark stuff, because most of the time the dark stuff is what the enemy don't want us to talk about. But we in the light now, right? We're not going to allow the darkness to continue to consume us, to take us over, or to dictate how we're moving forward. We're not going to do that. Some of you, this is why the Lord is removing you around people. He's making you aware. Come on, Spirit, it's a gift that's awakening, where you're going to be able to see it. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to treat people any different, because you're not. But this is about becoming more aware of how the darkness moves, and even how, come on, Daniel 2:22, and of how the darkness moves, how the darkness will try to consume you if you let it. And we ain't gonna let it. We done with that season. We done with that. This is the importance. The more you read the Bible, I'm not, and y'all, I don't do rules, regulations, and none of that. I'm not on that. But what I am on is truth. And I could tell you this, one thing for certain, two things for sure. Baby, you start reading the Bible and you'll be filled with so much light till you'll be like darkness where. We all have darkness within us, but this is the difference before, when you're born, when you're in the world versus when you're in the world but not of the world. Your light rules. Anyway, followed by the sky, land, seas, and vegetation. He then made the sun, the moon, and stars to govern time, filled the waters with sea creatures, and on the skies with birds. On the sixth day, he created land, animals, and humanity in his image, giving them dominion. Didn't I just say he finna give somebody dominion over something? And that wasn't even what I was getting on this word. He finna get, I mean, on that part of the message. He finna give him dominion, give you dominion over something. Finally, on the seventh day, God rested. Some of you, the Lord's getting ready to give you rest. I can't hardly stop reading it, because as soon as I start reading it, he'll give me something else. For some of you, he's getting ready to give you rest. He's going to get ready to give you rest. And sometimes what that requires is the hard thing. He will separate you from everybody so that he can give you rest. Okay. And it's not easy, y'all. One of the hardest things I think that I've experienced, I've been in isolation. Man, I've been in isolation since what, 2020, 2021, I think. And it was literally 4 years before the Lord actually started reintroducing me to the world. So it's hard, because for some of you, part of what the Lord is helping you with um is codependency, because he needs you to know how strong you are. And I think I talked about that. So this is why he will send you, first of all, your season of isolation is so that you can get closer to him. But he will send you, he will put you in isolation, because for some of you, this is also why he will start removing people, because you have to, in terms of relationship, like maybe you've been that person. And again, y'all, we don't we talk about the real stuff over here, not just the easy stuff. You may be that person who always felt like you needed somebody. Let's say, like, if you're, if and I can only speak from a woman's perspective, of course, but you may be that person who always felt like, because you're looking for love. Thank you. You're looking for love. But what you end up doing is you look for love in the wrong people, whether it's friends, whether it's relationships, because so he'll put you by yourself so that you can find that love not only within yourself, but in him. For many of you ladies, if you learn to let the Lord love you, you will never be mistreated again. Like, because you won't allow it. Because when the Lord comes in and he shows you what it means to be truly loved, he's going to set a standard for you. And this is men as well. I don't want to just say ladies, because this is everybody. When the Lord shows you what love is, you'll no longer accept less than that. Does that make sense? Now, that doesn't mean that you won't maybe go through things if you're in a relationship, but when the Lord shows you what love is, you'll be like, "Oh, I can't accept less than that. I no, like no." So you'll no longer be dealing with the same type of people or on the same type of time, if that makes sense. So for some of you, this is also why there's a stripping of relationships, because some of you, you have to learn to love yourself again, or maybe it'll be the first time. For me, I can say it was really the first time that I loved to learn to love myself, thereby knowing what this, but God set the standard. Period. God set the standard. Um Genesis provides further details on creation of Adam and Eve, and that's why he was bringing this up about, because some of you, maybe you've been praying for a spouse, but he's going to prepare you for that spouse first. Because one thing for certain, two things for sure. Has anybody dealt with a counterfeit? Anybody, if you never been in a relationship and you single, then it was a counterfeit, right? Whether you were the counterfeit or they were. Because remember, y'all, it ain't always them. Sometimes it's us. So you could have been the counterfeit. So for many of you, if you're praying for love, and because he's bringing this up on the Adam and Eve that's on the card, he's going to prepare you for the love that you're praying for. Okay. Their life in the Garden of Eden and their relationship with God. So just know that. Okay. He's gonna prepare you for what you're praying for. And that's not just relationships, that's anything that he has for you. He's gonna prepare you for it first. Okay. Real quick, let me clarity this. I don't think we need many of these. We'll pull like two and keep it moving. Message. So some of you, this is why it literally, let me just show y'all, and this is because this is like the beginning and the end. On one end you have the 10 of wands, which is a cycle, right? A heavy cycle, of burden, something that's weighing you down, and then you have literally a new beginning. So some of you are right in the middle of this process, like you're in the middle of learning to let, like the Queen of Cups, learning to let the Lord love you, learning to nurture yourself, develop yourself. Because for many of you as well, as you're in this season, wherever, and even if you with somebody, you should be taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself, loving on yourself as well. And it's like the Four of Swords. When you finally come out, this is stillness, this is rest, this is prayer. When you finally come out, it's coming out as a brand new you, right? New me, who this? Okay, new me, who this? So this feels like a season, and again, you have to know where you are in this, but it feels like a season. Some of you are at the beginning of a season where you're really just giving everything to the Lord, putting all the burdens down, allowing him to take care of you, becoming more devoted to him. This is being in the grave, the Four of Swords, because it's stillness, it's, prayer, it's meditation, it's not really doing anything. This is just you being in that place where you're allowing the Lord to work on you, but when he's done, you're going to come out brand new. Okay, come on, ripen. Here we go. I'm, you know what? I'm That's it. Now I was shuffling, y'all, and I just want to show y'all what card came out, because I can't make this up. And we had it yesterday. Of all the cards that could have failed, there's 111 cards in this deck, by the way, 833. And the card that happened to come out is increase. And we've been talking about it. So clearly, This is a week of increase because the card is back yet again. Okay. The Lord be blowing my mind. Increase, multiply, addition. We talked about this yesterday. Um, this is Matthew 11 and 11. So thank you, Lord, that if you had just wanted to show up in the message, just say that. We receive it, Lord, and we thank you for always being visible in everything that we do. So let me shuffle, y'all. I know people probably think I'm making it up. How? How? You can't make it up. You just can't. Okay. So that was just a confirmation that yes, this is your cycle. If he's emptied you, he's going to increase you. And we have increase on one of these cards over here as well. So tell me right now, I could do so. There's so many more messages that are coming through just on this been an hour and a half long, but y'all, it's so many messages, and I don't be getting everything. I don't be giving everything that the Lord tells me to give because I be trying to hit what's important. But just in this, like there's a whole message that I could literally give that's talking strictly about money. And I don't even know how to. I don't know. I could just give a whole nother message about this. Let's see what else. That's that seed, child, planting something brand new. Here we go. Write the vision, make it plain. We have Matthew 13 and 44 vision board. What's even crazier, if y'all don't have a vision board, I need y'all to make one. Make one on your phone so that every time you see it, you know what you're working towards. It's your why. It's what you're creating for. It's what the vision that the Lord has given you. This talks about goals, accomplishments. We had a card that talked about purpose yesterday. We're getting very intentional about what we're the destined, like where we're trying to go. Um, Whenever you start to get off track or off target, just remember why God is sending you, what he told you, because many of you, there may be a vision that the Lord is giving you right now, and you finna start bringing it to life. Like things are getting ready to start manifesting for you that you're going to see like, man, the Lord really meant what he said. Um, I saw this last night, or I didn't watch I don't even think I saw the whole thing, but I remember, like, you follow different people and see different people. And I can remember, I want to say, well, I don't know exactly how long the time frame was, but I talked, who is it? Kev on stage. It was like a reel. Shout out Kev on stage. It was a reel, and he was in London. And I don't know all of his story, of course, but I can remember him saying at one point he was sitting like wherever he used to work or whatever he used to do. It's like then yet yesterday he literally was doing a show or something in London. And as I kind of just saw him on stage and the crowd of where he was, the Lord literally just started speaking and saying, like, so many people are getting ready to start realizing their dreams. And this is why you got to keep moving towards it. You got to keep fighting for your dream, because I can just like immediately the Lord was like, yep, and this is not just him, this is everyone. Like everybody starts from somewhere, y'all. So when the Lord gives you a vision, and that's also coming through because the travel card is at the bottom of the deck, right? It's like when the Lord gives you a vision, you never know where it's going to take you. You just got to be willing to go on the journey. You just got to be willing to say, okay, Lord, where you sending me, because you never know where it's going to end up. And that was that. I might have saw it this morning because it's so fresh in my mind, that the Lord is giving some of you directions. And I can just remember him saying, 10, 11, 12, whatever years ago, he was in one place, and now look at what he's doing, and he loves what he's doing. So if you look at any of the people that we're able to see on social media, y'all, you got to start from somewhere. And they all started from somewhere, but the Lord uses them as an example to show us what we're also capable of. If they can do it, if we can come out the slums, if we can come from the bottom, if they can do it, we can do it too. And some of you, the Lord is also saying this, like there's nothing. It's why he's like, with all things, God can do. There's nothing that is impossible for him. So if someone else can come from the bottom, so can you. Drop it in the chat. So can I. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish. You may want to be the first doctor in your family. We see social media, so we see people who the Lord elevates in that space. But whatever the Lord, you may want to be the CEO of a business. You got to know that you can do it. So can I. If it's been done before, that means that it can be done again. So I need somebody to, I pray that somebody come with this, with the, or have the understanding, or leave with the understanding, like, man, there's nothing. If the Lord said I can do it, then I can do it. You got to be believing in yourself. Sandy said, yes, Lord, I'm done with imposters, pretenders, and temporary people. I love me with the love of God, flaws and all. You better say that. Rebuild me, Lord. Because who has time for that? And I told y'all this as well. Child, if you ain't adding to my vision, that means you taking away, and I ain't got time for that. We not on that. And don't allow anyone who um is going to speak death in into your destiny either, because we don't have time for that. We got places we got to go. Last one, and I'm out this thing because I said 2 and I'm finna pull 3. Whoop, here we go. We got the mountain obstacle. Look, I'm done. Didn't I say something about a mountain? Did you say that, Lord? He did say something about a mountain. It's a mountain getting ready to be removed. Um, Isaiah 52:7. How beautiful on the mountains are the feet of those who bring good news, who proclaim peace, who bring good tidings, who proclaim salvation, who say to Zion, your God reigns. This talks about perseverance. Ascension. I'm telling you right now, the Lord is helping somebody to overcome some obstacles. Okay, so he's moving mountains. He's moving mountains. We receive it, Lord. We receive it. Okay, move mountains for us, Lord. What's the scripture, like? You'll tell this mountain to move and it'll get out your way, and will. Okay, so anyway, that's it. Just know that even if you going up the mountain, this ain't the last one, right? This ain't the last month. This ain't the last mountain. Highs and lows, ups and downs. We're gonna keep going. We still gonna have mountains to climb. You're simply getting to the top of this one, and then you're gonna have an easier way down. But then you're gonna get to the next mountain again. So we go up and down, up and down, y'all, and then we just keep moving forward. Okay, that's it. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Um, Look, we're on our way. You better say that. You better say it. We on our way, y'all. Like, we not stopping this time. I don't know if somebody's had some stop start kind of energy, but we not stopping this time. We're gonna stay committed. We're gonna keep moving forward. We're gonna keep doing what God has asked us to do, and we finna make strides. And we're gonna make strides. And sometimes, for whoever this part of the message is for, sometimes it's gonna feel like you just doing, and you like, man, this ain't even working out to nothing, this ain't doing nothing. And you're gonna have to, especially if it's your gift, you're gonna have to keep doing it anyway, because this is what is going to test you before the Lord can bless you. He's going to test you. Message: before he blesses you, he's going to test you. So if the Lord has given you a gift and he has told you to keep working at that gift, you gonna have to keep working at that gift. Okay, you're gonna have to keep doing it, even if it feels like you're toiling sometimes, because sometimes you're gonna be like, but I will say this: for those of you who are actually operating in your gift, you really never get tired of it. You really never get tired of it. So you enjoy what you're doing, and sometimes it no longer becomes about the growth. Come on, the rainbow. It's no longer about. It stops being about the money. It's just the joy of doing what you love. Okay, take and replace the jobs that don't value us. Child, listen. So when you're operating in your gift, and for some of you, that's going to be part of your lesson. It's a lot of stuff, but just like you do it just for the love of doing it. Okay, for the love of doing it. That's it. That's all I got. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Y'all, hydrate your soul in things, drink your water, say your gratitude. Have a fantastic and an amazing day. And look what's at the bottom of the deck. Go out and be fruitful. Okay, we already said this. Go out and be fruitful for the kingdom and do something great and amazing. And I'll see y'all on tomorrow. Come on, fruitful. We receive it. Okay, I love y'all in real life. Bye, y'all. Thank y'all.